shots.
Here's my phone.
Living something I haven't been or even come undone yet. And all this time I've been terrified in a life I've built but that I can't reside. Precious times will come and go now, still so and swing it to and fro. And now I think that perhaps the story can make this thing forever.
Hey, so last night I went to see Shirin live. What a great night. The support act for last night was Barley, Passable, and they're a electronic duo who, it was very like experimental electronic. I don't even know if they would call it electronic. I know that's kind of like a broad, like what does that really mean? It was very like dance, 80s. It had a very retro vibe to it. And they were fantastic. It was very unexpected, but very entertaining. Like before they came out, someone was mentioning that they had seen them before and they were like, it's not going to be what you expect and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, like, what's it going to be? Like when they said electronic music, I was like, yeah, okay. But it was like a whole performance. Like it's David and Kai who are the like duo. For Barely Possible, and they had like a full routine. They were dancing, but not like improvised dancing. I mean, I guess some of it is improvised, but like they had like full choreography for their, music. And a lot of it sounded like their originals, but they also were doing like covers because I recognized one of the song being a Kylie Minogue song, and that was pretty cool. I love Kylie Minogue. I grew up on Kylie Minogue. I had all her CDs I love Kylie. So hearing that kind of like 80s, 90s, like retro, big dance beat, like that was so cool. And it was really funny because at one point, I think it was Kai to one of the songs was trying to like get us to clap like 2-2 and then 3-3. No, oh my god. I see, this is how bad I am at rhythm. My god. I should be a lot better at rhythm. I literally dance, but 1-2 and then 1-2-3, and I couldn't get it. Like he was literally like dancing like, okay, now 2 and now 3, and I'm just standing like a fucking idiot trying to clap my hands. I just couldn't do it. Anyway, I think he found it very entertaining to watch the audience try and like fucking clap to the beat. But it was great because we were at the Highway Bar in, I think it's Enmore, Newtown, yeah. And it's a great venue. And last time I was there, I actually saw Shirin, who was supported by Taylor. And last time when I saw Shirin there was all these seating like situation because of COVID and stuff. But this time, we were all able to stand up, and there was like that mosh area like where you can all like dance and stuff, and that made it so much like, I feel like with this type of music, like, you can't just sit there. Like, you've got to get up and dance. And, it was great. It was very entertaining. Um, I try not to drink too much on these nights because obviously I need to be like able to review people the next day and not be too hungover. But I did drink a bit last night, so yeah, please excuse that. But I feel like it's also like, I don't know, like, it's funny because in my review notes I've literally written I am drunk. Like, that's really important to the review, Alice, like, seriously. But it was great because I got to speak to, very briefly, but David, I'm not sure if he prefers to be called Davey, but yeah, and Kai, who were barely passable. I got to speak to them briefly after the support act, and they were very lovely, and they had a really interesting story because they actually went to uni together at the con and did jazz, and that was not what I was expecting at all. And I think Kai said his more background is in like rock, and like it's just very interesting because like I know that genre has kind of become this like very like there's like, how do you define your genre? I think people these days find it very difficult to say this is what I am and this is what I'm going to be forever. And so it was really interesting talking to them and them having like a jazz rock background, and how but then their music that they're performing is like so like experimental and different. And yeah, very entertaining. Loved the choreography. But I am not here to review them. I am here to review Shirin, the main act. She was fantastic. Look, I've seen Shirin perform since the beginning of high school. Like, I've had the privilege to see her kind of, go from this, like, I mean, she's still the same. She loves singing her, like, Lana Del Rey-esque music. Like, that is her. And I feel like her genre has never changed in that sense. But in terms of her vocal control, and I've spoken to Shirin about this, like, many a time, about the fact that she has these really like big, deep kind of like, I don't know a way to explain it, but it's very like, if you've ever heard Pink Floyd Great Gig in the Sky, there are vocals in that, and I feel like that kind of is a great way to describe like Shirin's vocals. They're kind of these like very longing vocals, like they're very like long and sustained, and it's kind of like it's kind of like what's the word, like her vocals are very expressive, and they're like, she does a lot of like oohing and ahhing, and it's kind of like it's a very natural thing for her, that it's like sometimes she's not even singing lyrics, and it's a very like it's more about the sound of her voice that's coming through and not so much the lyricism. And I feel like that's kind of an interesting way to put it. Like, sometimes for her it is about the oohs and the ahs, and that's a big part of the performance. But sometimes in that you can lose vocal control because you kind of like get into it a bit too much. And there's been times where, I've spoken to Shirin and I'm like, rein it in a bit. And we actually have the same vocal teacher, have had the same singing lessons teacher. And yeah, I feel like every time I see Shirin, she hones in her vocals more and more, and she takes control of them. Because I feel like sometimes with Shirin, she's had issues where her vocals take control of her. But now I feel like she is very much taking control of her vocals, because her vocals are really powerful. They're really deep. They're really resonant. And I feel like with vocals like that, you can sometimes like not have full control over them. But she's definitely honed in on that, and it was fantastic seeing her last night. She performed her original stuff, Moonscape, Naissance, and I think she performed a lot of unreleased originals, and she did say that she has an EP coming out, I think she said like December or something, but that's not confirmed. And she also performed a cover of this 80s song, I think it's an 80s song, Small Town Boy or something, that I really like, and I've heard it before. I think it was in the TV show Euphoria, and that's how I found it. Loved that cover. Obviously, she did a Lana Del Rey cover of what was it? She did what did she do? This Is What Makes Us Girls. Great song. And obviously, I love when Shirin sings Lana Del Rey because I know how much she admires that kind of music. And it is her genre at the end of the day, this kind of like very deep and explorative music. Like, Shirin loves talking about politics and the kind of deeper meaning in life in her music. She doesn't shy away from that. I think Shirin's a great example of someone who doesn't just sing about her feelings, but she sings about the, human experience. And I think she said that Moonscape is literally about the attention economy. So she doesn't shy away from those like tough topics, she just goes right in there. And she is someone with a lot of works in progress. Like, she told me that, she's got like over 800 Ableton sessions open in her laptop. So like, Shirin is not short of content. She is always there to sing about things, even if it's not a personal story. She definitely delves into anything and everything. And Joel and Tom were supporting her. So Joel was on guitar and Tom was on drums. And yeah, Joel and Tom also supported Taylor for her band, I'm pretty sure. So there you go, it's a small world. But yeah, to me, Shirin is just like, she's kind of got this like siren-esque voice to her. Like, it's kind of like a yearning, and like there's kind of like a mystery about her and a kind of sadness behind her. But then, I think she's really built a persona as an artist, because obviously when you talk to Shirin, she's not so mysterious. She's very bubbly, outgoing, really wears her heart on her sleeve. But I think when she's on stage, she's kind of built this like mysterious persona about her. And I think that really pulls you in as an audience. And I think, Barley, Passable as well, like, and Shirin, I guess you can take away from the fact that they've built a persona about them. They've got a character for the stage, and I think you can still be a genuine artist and I think bring a certain level of persona and character. I don't think that you just have to be you. I think this is an extension of you. You're an artist. Explore that. Push yourself. And the last thing I wrote on my review thing is, I was drunk. So clearly I had a great night. Anyway, I actually have another gig tonight, so I will be seeing you again very soon. It's been a very fun few nights, and I can't wait to finish it off with tonight's gig, and you will be seeing that on C Monster Productions. See you next time.